Here's what's actually happening right now. Sidra isn't just adding businesses to a list, they're constructing the verification backbone that Web3 desperately needs. Think about it. Cryptocurrency promised us freedom from centralized control, but that freedom comes with a massive problem. How do you trust anyone in a system with no gatekeeper? Traditional banks have compliance teams, auditors, and government oversight. Decentralized networks have code. And while blockchain technology is revolutionary, code alone can't verify that a business in Lagos, Doha, or Jakarta is legitimate, registered, and actually who they claim to be. That's where KYB enters the picture. Know your business isn't some boring regulatory checkbox, it's the missing infrastructure that separates legitimate Web3 platforms from the wild west of unverified chaos. And Sidra is building this infrastructure faster than most people realize. Let me paint you a picture. Right now, a retail shop in Nigeria wants to accept Pcoin. A logistics company in Qatar wants to integrate blockchain payments. An e-commerce platform in Indonesia wants to join the decentralized economy. Without KYB verification, Pi Network has no reliable way to confirm these businesses are legitimate. That's not just a trust issue, it's an adoption killer. Sidra solved this. They're actively onboarding verified businesses across these regions, creating a network of compliant, transparent partners that Pi Network and other Web3 platforms can actually work with confidently. Why this timing matters? Let's talk about timing, because this expansion isn't random. Nigeria has the largest crypto adoption rate in Africa, Qatar is positioning itself as a blockchain innovation hub in the Middle East, and Indonesia represents the world's fourth largest population with exploding digital finance interests. Sidra didn't pick these markets by accident. They identified regions where crypto adoption is surging but regulatory frameworks are still developing. By establishing KYB infrastructure now, they're positioning themselves as the standard before governments impose their own requirements, which, honestly, they will. Here's the critical insight most people miss. Regulatory compliance isn't the enemy of decentralization, it's the bridge. Without verified business networks, institutional investors stay away, governments crack down, mainstream adoption stalls. KYB compliance actually protects decentralization by making it sustainable and legitimate. And here's where Pi Network comes into play. Pi has millions of users globally, but users alone don't create a functional economy. You need verified merchants, service providers, and business infrastructure. Sidra's KYB expansion directly supports Pi's transition from a mining app to a functioning ecosystem with real-world utility. Think about Pi's roadmap. They're moving toward open mainnet, which means real transactions, actual commerce, and genuine economic activity. Every verified business Sidra onboards becomes a potential use case for Pcoin. That retail shop in Nigeria, now it can accept Pi payments confidently. That logistics company in Qatar, it can integrate Pi into its operations with regulatory backing. This isn't theoretical. This is infrastructure being built in real time while most people are still debating whether crypto is legitimate. Before we go further, if you're finding value in this breakdown, smash that like button right now. It tells YouTube to push this information to more people who need to understand what's actually happening in Web3. And if you haven't subscribed to TJ Crypto World yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm bringing you the insights that others miss, and you don't want to be late to the next major development. Now, let's continue. Let's address something fundamental. Why does transparency matter so much in Web3? Because decentralized systems operate on trust protocols, not trusted institutions. In traditional finance, you trust your bank because regulators force them to be trustworthy. In Web3, you trust a protocol because its rules are visible, verifiable, and unchangeable. KYB extends this transparency to businesses. Every company that completes Sidra's verification process becomes part of a traceable, compliant network. Their registration details, operational legitimacy, and regulatory compliance become part of the blockchain record. This isn't surveillance, it's accountability. Consider the alternative. Without KYB, any entity can claim to be a business, accept payments, and disappear. Fraud becomes rampant. Users get burned, governments intervene with harsh regulations, the entire ecosystem suffers. Sidra's approach prevents this scenario. By verifying businesses across multiple jurisdictions, they're creating a network where transparency isn't optional, it's built into the foundation. This makes the entire ecosystem safer for users, more attractive to investors, and more defensible against regulatory overreach. So, if you're running a business or maybe thinking about launching one in the crypto space, you should definitely listen up. KYB verification is quickly becoming mandatory for participating in the ecosystem, and it's not just because some authority says so, it's really because platforms, don't want to risk their reputation on unverified partners. Sidra's process actually streamlines verification, making it super accessible for businesses no matter their size or where they're located. All you need to do is submit documentation that proves your company is registered compliant and, legitimate. Once you're verified, you get access to the entire Web3 ecosystem that Sidra supports, including Pi network integration partnership opportunities and direct access to a growing community of crypto users. But honestly, this isn't just about compliance, it's really about gaining a competitive advantage. Verified businesses get first-mover access to new platforms, airdrop opportunities, and a chance to engage with the community through channels like Telegram, where Sidra shares exclusive updates. On the other hand, unverified businesses, well, they get locked out. So, the window is open right now. As KYB becomes standard, getting verified early means, establishing your position before the rush. If you wait, that means joining late when competition is fierce and, honestly, standards are higher. Let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture. What Sidra is building isn't just a verification system, it's actually the template for how Web3 matures. Every successful technology goes through a few phases: innovation, chaos, standardization, and then mainstream adoption. Cryptocurrency, well, it's transitioning from chaos to standardization right now. KYB represents that transition. It's how we move from speculation to utility, from promised potential to delivered value. Sidra's global expansion across Nigeria, Qatar, Indonesia, and beyond demonstrates that this transition is accelerating. Pi Network benefits immensely from this development. As verified businesses join the ecosystem, Pi gains real-world use cases. As use cases multiply, Pi's value proposition strengthens. As the network becomes more legitimate and compliant, institutional adoption becomes possible. This is how cryptocurrencies mature into functional currencies. The platforms that embrace this transition survive, the ones that resist it fade away. Sidra understood this early, and their aggressive KYB expansion proves they're committed to being infrastructure, not just another crypto project. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening in Web3, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs to understand where cryptocurrency is actually heading. Subscribe to TJ Crypto World if you haven't already. I'm consistently bringing you the analysis that matters, not just hype. Drop a comment below telling me your thoughts on KYB verification and whether you think it strengthens or weakens decentralization. Appreciate you watching, crypto pioneers. This channel exists to cut through noise and deliver insights that actually matter. Check out my other videos breaking down Pi Network's roadmap and the future of Web3 infrastructure. Stay informed, stay ahead, and I'll catch you in the next one.